Guys, Running Kimono here. So, today's video is a little different. My stockpile isn't your store. Like, what a topic that one is. I used to make videos like this back in the day, and I've been hearing from a couple of you guys where you post a couple photos of your stockpile because you're proud and you've been working really hard on these deals and you have impressive Tide and paper products, and some of your family members have come over during the pandemic and still are leaning on you really hard for stuff. And a lot of you are just like, enough. And I get it, unless your town has absolutely nothing, then of course you have to help out family. That's a given. But sometimes if you post a photo on social media and then you have a distant cousin or, your husband's wife's friend shows up and they want stuff for free because you coupon, and the guise of it is that everything that you get is absolutely free. Well, that's really not the case. And really, your stockpile is yours. It's not theirs. It's not a public trust. And you should really be okay with saying no, especially if it's somebody you have no idea who they are and they just want this, that, and the third, because they think that because you coupon, you get all this stuff for free. That's not the case. And that's just a really, I think that show on TLC showing everybody, getting these zero out of pocket hauls and that everything's free and the managers are there clapping. Y'all know that's not the case. It is a struggle. It is a battlefield out there. It is really difficult. But just throw this in your back pocket. A couple of you have reached out to me and it's been really, almost a hard place to be in, to just say no to a family member who's just constantly leaning on you for every little thing. And you're not a store. You're not, you're not Walmart. You might have a huge stockpile like mine in your basement, but it's up to you to pick and choose what you want to do with it. If you want to bring everything to a women's shelter or all these paper products, donate them to the SPCA so they can clean up after animals, that is your choice. Or if you want to just keep this for the next 2 years, because we live in such an uncertain time, especially if paper products are scarce in your area, yeah, of course you're going to keep it. And that's fine. And your family member should not put you on a guilt trip, and it should be an okay thing. But I know a lot of you, especially if you post photos or if a certain family member has seen your basement or they know what you might have or wherever you might keep your stockpile, it just creates this really uncomfortable and weird conversation. And I'm not the person here saying, oh, you should charge for absolutely everything. Because I know that for my mom and my mother-in-law, I would never accept as much as a dime. But it creates this weird thing that sometimes, your stuff is really your stuff. And just because somebody knows you, it doesn't mean that they can bring over a shopping bag and fill it up. This used to happen a lot to a friend of mine. And she had her stockpile in a boyfriend's home, and that would happen with his family, that they knew the stockpile was there and they would just go and help themselves, filling up garbage bags right to the top. And you can only imagine her reaction when she would come back from work, seeing that, half of everything was gone, but somebody was very happy. And it's not free shopping. Couponing is really hard work. It takes time. It takes patience to put these deals together, to make sure that they balance. Anybody that even shops at the Dollar General, it's not always a given that you walk out of the store and your balance is at a zero. It's difficult. And I'm just throwing this in your back pocket. It is okay to say no. And as hard as that might sound, it's totally fine, because you need some of this stuff that when something hits the fan, you have all of the Clorox, Lysol wipes, whatever to clean your house, and you are comfortable. And because we extreme coupon, we probably see things a little differently, where we want a stockpile full of cleaning goods. We want hand sanitizer, Lysol wipes. I'm not talking that we're the people clearing the stores, because we certainly weren't the people in early March going into Walmart and taking like every single thing of toilet paper, because most of us had toilet paper at our homes. But that being said, I just think that it is really okay to say no. And I know a lot of you have been put in an uncomfortable position, because I get a lot of messages from you guys about your stockpile and basically what do you do if you have somebody, in your family or a friend or, even somebody from church who's just overly pushy for your stuff. It is okay to say no. Counterpart to this too is I've been conversing with one of you guys about a family member who's just been, since the beginning in March, just nonstop every week showing up for stuff and just doesn't offer much of a thank you, but just like, give me stuff, give me stuff, give me stuff. And this person hit their limit. So this person actually volunteered to take the relative to teach them how to coupon. And it was followed up with, well, I don't have time for that. And like, I hear that all the time, that, people are envious of your skills, envious of what you have. And then you offer, you're like, hey, I'm going to give you a fishing rod so you can catch your own fish. Would you rather have the rod and learn how to fish, or would you rather have the fish? Well, I think the rod is much more valuable than getting one fish, right? But that's not the case. This person has every excuse. I'm busy, I'm tired, I don't have time. But this woman's always put in this weird position, and I basically said, you've been helping this person and now it's August. It is okay to just say no. And this isn't like, an immediate relative and there's no toilet paper in their town, and it's just a person just coming after for things like Pantene, and it's just nonstop. So this is a very it's really awkward to have this conversation, like any way you slice it or dice it. And I know a lot of you, though, are probably in this position, because I've been hearing this a lot, where I get a DM somewhere, either an email or an Instagram, where people are like, I just don't know what to do. Because I know a lot of you are really nice. You want to help them out. Or you are just in an early stage of couponing where this is all you want to talk about. And most of your family members are like, but if they can get some free stuff, they're totally about that. But to just hear about, getting something for a moneymaker at Walgreens during a beauty event, like, who really would really be, if you're not into couponing, it's just kind of like one of those things. It would be like if you're not into lacrosse, and I was going to tell you about some tournament I went and saw, and it was so fantastic. It would be like the same thing, and you're like, what is lacrosse, So hopefully that makes some sense. I just wanted to let you guys know that it's totally fine to say no. And if you're not comfortable with something, or if somebody's just like really pressuring you, or just putting you on a guilt trip, must be nice to have so much time to do this. I don't have the mind to learn this. I don't, I just would be awful at it. I would make a bunch of mistakes. But, that Persil looks really good. I wouldn't mind having a couple of those. It's totally fine to say no, especially if you've, presented an olive branch and said, hey, I can take you out. I can show you the ropes. Even with digital coupons, to take somebody to the Dollar General and to show them a couple basic deals, they do that over a month, every Saturday consecutive. They would have a little stockpile or something to work with. Guys, I know this video is really different, because I'm always like, give, blah, blah, blah. But if you have somebody in your life who you've offered to go couponing with, you've said, hey, I can show you the ropes, and they just always have an excuse or some smart remark, or they're just not kind to you about this, it's 1,000% okay to say no. And that's my thoughts on it. In the comments, guys, if you can let me know your thoughts, I would love to read about it. I'm sure everybody would love to read about it. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.